Hello boys and girls, it's Chadman here. We will be bringing you a very enjoyable Tribes ladder match, and I actually have a co-caster with me. Tonight I have the one and only Dot Matrix. Good evening, sir.
Hello everybody, hello Chadman, thank you very much for inviting me on the cast tonight. Really excited for the match.
Yeah, it looks to be a bit of a grudge match from what I understand from various comments that have been going around. It's going to be certainly very interesting.
When you say grudge match, I mean, have these guys been hitting each other a lot?
I think there's a little bit of smack talk going on in IRC, things of that nature. But aside from that, I mean, you know, when doesn't the Tribes community have a bit of drama?
Yeah, I mean, these two teams are both very, very well skilled. I mean, I think we're going for number 2 position on the ladder tonight.
Yeah, that is the case. So it's going to be a pretty good matchup. If you've been looking at the votesongameshrine.org, there has been it's pretty equal as far as they're concerned. I mean, I think a lot of people are sort of favouring Unhandled exception, but I for one am looking forward to see a fabulous match tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I think I even casted not Unhandled exception, Nimbleminds versus Clutchy U not that long ago, and they absolutely stomped over Clutchy U. No disrespect to Clutchy U, obviously, but I don't think you should count Nimbleminds out of this game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, looking at the maps that I think have been challenged, Challenger's map was Rain Dance. I think we're also going to be on Ark's Novena and Crossfire as the tiebreakers. So Rain Dance, a very popular map, obviously, from the Tribes one days. Now they've got that extra exit. There's no more base turtling with a flag. It's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. And I think UE is going to be Blood Eagle and Nimbleminds will be on Diamond Sword. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I mean, it's interesting to say Rain Dance is a popular map. It's definitely popular on the pubs. I think it works very well with a large player base. For sevens, I'm just not so sure. So yeah, I hope it's just not too sort of standoffish when we see this map. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see the actual result. I probably couldn't really give you much insight onto who I think's stronger because, to be quite honest, you just don't see that many competitive games being played on Rain Dance.
Yeah, I mean, it got played quite a lot in the Tribes one days. Tended to be quite a popular map in that respect.
Oh, absolutely.
And you know, it depends on what you like, really. I mean, I think the addition of the extra slot in the back of the base obviously means they can take the generators down. But aside from that, it's still got plenty of side-to-side capping routes. Because of the location of the flag. It's going to be classic, I think, heavy on flag. Do you think they might go for a soldier or raider defense on flag rather than the standard heavy?
It's falling out of popularity recently. I've mainly been seeing heavies on flags for the past few weeks to even few months. So I would expect it to be heavies on flag. You don't need the mobility on Rain Dance. The reason you go soldier on flag is so you can dance around a little bit. But because the flag stand on Rain Dance kind of elevated, there's nowhere for you to go anyway. So you might as well stay up there in a heavy.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the thing is also with the generators are going to go down probably within the first 2 to 3 minutes of the game, and essentially it's not really cost effective or time effective for them to get the generators up unless they kind of want to get their force fields and everything back in place. So it tends to be ignored by a large majority of teams. Don't think that's going to change anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, I would never expect a competitive team to bring their generators up for force fields. Generally, the only time you see it is when they want to get the strike out.
Yeah.
So I expect that's the only time we'll see the generators come up in any of these matches. Because, well, quite frankly, there's just no point. It's just too much effort. You basically need to dedicate somebody to keeping it up if you want to, and there's just really no advantage to it.
Yeah, speaking from experience, I've actually played Chadtopia, this map we're looking at in the picture-in-picture at the moment. Now, they're saying obviously it's going to start in 17 seconds, but I'm sure there's going to be a map change shortly. I, on one occasion, was doing base defense on Chadtopia on Tribes 2 and never left the base for the entire map. So it's a harsh thing to do, but it's one of those things that has become less of an issue on Tribes Ascent.
True, but I mean, back in the sort of earlier Tribes incarnations, the team sizes were a lot bigger. So you could afford that. I mean, in Tribes 1 and 2, I was a turret monkey, and I love that role. And I couldn't reprise it in Tribes Ascend. One, because 2 turrets isn't enough to justify having a monkey, and second, on 7s, you just can't dedicate somebody to that kind of almost support role. Everybody's got to be contributing in a more effective way.
Yeah, I mean, also the massive increase in the amount of snipers being used. I noticed it in a match I covered not that long ago. One team decided not to use a sniper, and they really suffered as a result of that. Snipers, obviously, the advantage is they can take dinks out of the health of the various teams, especially the cappers, and it basically changes the entire dynamic of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the sniper has a huge role in Tribes Ascend in both. I mean, they're there to counter the cappers, basically, to counter these massive, speeds that the cappers will get. And there's a few ways they do that. One is if you've got a sniper, then the cappers can't take those really high, just enormous long routes where they're visible for ages, because you're going to get sniped out of the air that way. But the other job for the sniper is also to try and ruin the capper's route before he even gets to the flag by sort of sniping him halfway through, preventing his health regeneration from kicking in, which means by the time that he gets to the flag stand, he'll either have no health or he won't be able to get off those last couple of nitrons to actually make his cap route effective.
Yeah, it's certainly a different dynamic. I tend to find I actually enjoy this game a lot more than I enjoyed Tribes 2 or Tribes Vengeance. This seems to be kind of, if anything, sort of a spiritual successor to Tribes 1 as far as I was concerned. Obviously, it's never going to be Tribes 1, it's never going to be Tribes 2 or Tribes Vengeance. But it's still very good fun, and it's very enjoyable, and some of the tactics and some of the plays that we've seen and hoping to see tonight are just going to be spectacular.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. And I agree with you. I think in terms of comparing it to other Tribes games, it's definitely more like Tribes 1 than any other of the franchise.
So it looks like we're moving into the map for Rain Dance. This is going to be like being in England, nothing but rain, constant bloody rain. So we'll just what we'll do is we'll tell you about the various teams in a second once these guys get themselves set up. And so what do you think? What do you think these guys are going to do from the point of view of tactics when it comes to setting up on this particular map?
Well, I can only really, I haven't seen either of these teams play on the map, so I'm just going to have to speculate. But what we'll probably see is the sniper setting up either on top of the flag stand or to the hill slightly before the flag stand. When I say before, I mean behind it, because that's going to give him the best vantage point for cappers coming in and cappers going out. We'll have the heavy on flag, and then we'll probably have a roaming light defender. Chasing's really hard on this map because of the massive amount of speed that people can get. So you're really depending on your sniper and your heavy on flag to prevent the capper coming through. Because once he's through, he's going at 300, and there's just not enough hills on this map to actually catch up with him. So it'll probably come down more to standoffs if these teams have a relatively similar offense and they're both able to get the flags off the stands. So I expected to see a very standoff-heavy game.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be... do you think we'll see a huge amount of heavy offense being used at all? Obviously, to soften up, you're going to see infiltrators going into the base to start with. Any kind of softening up of heavies on flags with respect to the flag stand, or do you think
we
they're
might
going to
see
go
him
with
try
raiders?
it? Yeah, I wouldn't surprise me if some, there was some MERV spam from the hills to the front right of the flag stand, just to try and clear off any static defense. But realistically, I don't think that will last for long. You're going to get a lot more mileage out of having an extra raider there to disrupt that heavy off the flag. As long as you get your timing right, then that's going to work. And it just takes so long to get across the map in a heavy that I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking on the Game Show website at the moment, so far the votes are 31 to 28 in favour of Unhandled Exception. So Unhandled Exceptions, as they are the defenders, they are expected to take this game. Personally speaking, I always tend to go for the underdog. It's always nice to see the underdog win, especially when it's challenging upwards towards the ladder. I think we've got one hell of a game going on.
Yeah, definitely. You do not want to count Nimbleminds out. They're just getting better and better. And they have a huge roster as well. They have such a dearth of players that they can draw on. I'm not sure if they field the same team every game or if they try to mix it up quite a lot. So, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. I mean, I recognize some of the names on here, but like I said, with such a large roster, I wonder how they manage that on their team. That'd be interesting to know.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, these guys have been around since 2004, so they're certainly not a young team when it comes to playing. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going on. I mean, we've got 78 seconds before the match starts, so Let's, what we're going to do is just basically fly around, just waiting to see what happens. This is kind of usual fare for tribes. I tend to find everyone starts with a massacre of team killing, mass murder, genocide, all the usual things that people, especially tribes players, tend to celebrate with.
Absolutely. I mean, it's worth having a look at the scoreboard at the moment, or rather the team layout. We can probably assume that the classes that they've set at the moment are likely to be their loadout classes. So we do see a Sentinel, McCavity, obviously very good on Unhandled Exception, and we also have Rageful from Nimbleminds. Now, I'm not too familiar with Rageful. I think he's running a stream as well. So if you want some first person, you could maybe have a look at that. But don't close outs, of course.
Of course,
but you
of course.
see a lot of soldiers. There's one Juggernaut on Nimbleminds. Oh, and the game's actually started, so I'll stop waffling.
Yeah, so I'm just checking out to see what's going on with UE at the moment. Looks like they've decided to go for a soldier on flag. They've obviously got a sniper in the vicinity who's going to be defending. Yeah, that's going to be McCavity up there doing the defending. You've got looks like the Nimbleminds are on their way in. You've got units as well. Typhoid there taking the first and blood, and you've got Bibendus who looks like he's coming in. There we go. Out comes the mortar. Let's just double check that. Yeah, there we go. Spam going in. They're trying to do some damage to that sniper on the flag, and also the soldiers. They're having to back off to prevent any kind of damage, and it looks like Eunice is setting up for a potential run. So it's looking pretty good as far as the timing's going in for this team at the moment. And Nimbleminds, there we go. Got the spam coming in, and let's see if we can get away with the flag grab. There, oh, Eunice comes in and tries to grab the flag there. So timing off by a little bit there.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to note that, my initial prediction was completely wrong. Both teams are running soldier on flag with super heavy. So clearly they do want that mobility. And perhaps it's because of what we see right now. You knock the Kappa coming in, throws the flag into the field, and, you want to be able to jump off that flag stand and protect it a little bit more carefully.
Yeah, we're checking out the Nimbleminds at the moment. They've got a very similar setup, obviously, as you were just saying, with the sniper obviously in the same location. But generators are down. Shocking, that, isn't it? And looks like the Blood Eagle flag then finally gets returned to base and everything is quiet. Looks like it seems to be a lot of midfield battles going on, because obviously these teams are passing each other at the midfield areas. The Kappas go off on their wide area cat routes, and I think let's just see what's going on. As there we go, we've had a flag grab. It looks like Eunice is away with the flag. He's taking fire all over the place. He's making a run quickly as possible, and he is not looking healthy. However, he might get intercepted midfield by some of the UE team, and yeah, there goes in a mortar. Oh, he avoids it in just in time. Eunice coming back towards the flag. Two team members, they're waiting now. Looks like we did a punt there. Flag has been punted back towards the flag stand, and let's see if they can pick it up in time. Am comes in, grabs the flag very quickly. Looks like we've got a E-grab. Looks like the flag has been punched out of the way. Possibly Vice Lord. No, he gets sniped down, and we could be talking about a first cap. So there you go.
Yeah, really good defense by Chumi to keep that flag on the stand. He had to deal with about 3 or 4 of the Unhandled Exception offenders, and they just weren't able to get that flag off the stand. I think they really needed to go for the E-grab a lot sooner than they did, and try to, maybe shuffle it up the field a little bit more. It'd be interesting to see if Vice Lord continues with that Juggernaut, mortar spam offense. Whether that was being effective, I'd have to say no. So it'll be interesting to see if he switches that to something else.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's interesting to see how these guys are varying it up. I mean, you've got McCavity up there doing the snipe. Obviously, he's trying to take out those what I like to call offensive harassers. They're coming in to basically distract them as quickly as possible, clear out, do any damage they can, and get the flag area clear, ready for when the Kappa comes flying in. Which it looks like UE are doing a very good job there at defending their flag.
Yeah, McCavity particularly is very good. He knows those cap routes inside out, so he knows where to spot and he knows how to call them. And he knows how to pick off the Kappas just as they come in. And that's one of the disadvantages of this map. It's quite clear that there's only a couple of routes, so you always know basically where the Kappa is going to be coming from, and that makes it tough if the sniper's not taken out.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, if you were to take the top of the tower, it would open up the flag stand for more front-to-back cat routes, but I suppose it's a limitation of this map. As we're watching, let's just see if we can lock in on who that is. So that's Gene Stealer there, doing a little bit of midfield harassment. There's Toomey coming in at the midfield. You've got Bibendus there, who is doing mortar spam. Looks like MIRV spam onto the flag stand. So McCavity taking a little bit of pressure there. Looks like Toomey's going after McCavity to try and stop him, and the flag fact, the timing was perfect. Eunice comes in there, high speed, low on health. Let's see if we can lock in on Eunice. Yeah, he's looking pretty good. Let's see if we can follow the chasers as well. Looks like you got Typhoid, who's chasing after him as fast as he can. He is about 100 meters behind him. Vice Lord trying to catch him. Oh, Vice Lord. Let's see, was that a kill? It's hard to tell.
I think that was a punt.
Yeah, looks like that may have been a punt. Now, obviously, the flag's gone significant distance. And Horpy comes up, but he's taking fire as he makes his way into towards the flag. Vice Lord, who's doing a great job of the spamming on the flag. Oh, Gene Stealer tries to do an E-grab. Flag gets returned and a capture by Horpy for the Nimbleminds. Looking good so far, 2-0 in favour of the Diamond Sword team.
So you may have said this at the start of the cast, but do you know the Challengers map was arena? Okay, so this was Nimbleminds' choice. So perhaps expected that they would be doing better on this map.
Yeah, that's a fair so. I mean, the Defenders map will be Arch Novena, so that will be the one that will be coming up next. So it's certainly going to be interesting to see what tactics they're going to be doing on the next map.
Yeah, both of the teams, the offensive harass coming through to clear off the flag stand on both teams so far hasn't been particularly effective. I would have to say that Nimbleminds are doing a slightly better job in terms of distracting the defense, but in terms of actually clearing it, killing everyone off so there's just nobody in the way for the Kappa, neither teams have been able to really get that very effective so far.
Yeah, I also looking at the defensive from the point of view of Nimbleminds compared to UE, and it seems that UE have actually got more defenders. Oh dear, that was a very unfortunate flag grab there. Bits of the Kappa went out the other side. Looks like they've got 3 defenders at the flag for UE there compared to 2 for Nimbleminds. Now it could be that they hadn't actually spawned for the 3rd defensive member, but maybe UE going for a more defensive approach to this map as opposed to their opponents?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, it's interesting at the moment, the Nimbleminds flag's almost deserted. Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to have been any offense coming through from UE to really take advantage of that. So, yeah, missed opportunity.
Yeah, we're looking, it looks like now that obviously money is starting to come in, as we have a grab by UE with, I'm going to obviously assassinate his name terribly there, Ali? Yeah, there we go, Ali W. He's in with the flag. He is looking pretty good. He's 551 health, and it looks like he's got some midfield chasers as Anna's coming up behind him. There we go, loads of midfield chasers. It looks like he's done a punt, but I don't think he's going to get away with it, as we've got some... Oh, lovely shot there as the flag is going to try and get picked up midfield, and the Diamond Sword flag gets returned. Wow.
Ananati just did that all by himself. Really good job. Just basically dueled out 3 of the unhandled exception players there. Didn't have to kill them, but basically kept them away from that flag long enough for him to just dive on and get the return. Great work. Yeah,
definitely. Clutch play there by the Diamond Swords, obviously getting their flag back, and you can see the enemy from the UE. We're watching UE at the moment making their way out towards the base. Vice Lord obviously sticking with the heavy offense, determined to clear that flag. Now looking at UE's defensive, the good thing is obviously money has been earned, so the teams can actually get inventory stations, which will help their teams out, especially with respect to anybody who is covering the flag. But in comes the heavy offense spam. It looks like we've got a nice little team of defensive harassers from the Nimbleminds, and they're actually coming in what looks like a group of 3. Now obviously if you're coming in a group like that, that's going to maximize your firepower and cause major disruption to UE.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at the Nimbleminds flags at the moment, and UE's not really... I mean, Ali's going for a cap, but it really didn't kind of work. But there's just so many unhandled exception defenders around that flag stand at the moment. I can see Babenda's trying to clear it out, but they're kind of staying away from the flag stand, so any Merv spam and stuff is not going to affect them.
Yeah, definitely taking cover. Obviously, last thing you want to do is take cover inside the flag stand. That's just invitation for horrible death. But what we're going to do is we're going to fly over to see how the Nimbleminds are getting on at the moment. Obviously, we've got Bibendus and Anna and also Eunice there setting up for a cap route. Now, looks like we've got a guy who's staying midfield. It's like Horpy is actually staying out by the bridge. So his job is to try and harass the harassers, so to speak, and seems to be doing a good job. Just got taken down there by Typhoid as they're now making a push in towards the Nimbleminds flag stand. Toomey there having a bit of a fight with Ali and Harpy, and fire going into the flag stand. So it's looking pretty good as far as these guys are concerned. They're doing a good job of harassing the Nimbleminds defensive team.
Yep. I mean, you can see the mortar spam coming in. Vice Lord just, throwing them from a long distance, but unfortunately just not hitting anything. RLEW is going to come in for a cap now and see if he can pick it up.
Yeah, very nice place diss there from Am. Basically, as soon as he came in, dissed to the face, stopped him almost immediately. And obviously what they're going to do now is put their flag into a position where it's very difficult for them to cap it. Oh, that's a very sneaky place for an inventory, but so we won't show that. As we're watching, yeah, that's the one thing that you would definitely notice the difference between video and audio is you have to be very careful what you show because everybody watches this. So obviously Depths, let's see how Depths is doing. Let's see, he's got frag grenade in, and obviously he's got safety third and quick draw. Now what's your thoughts about those perks for the being a soldier on flag?
Safety third and quick draw. I mean, it's going to give you the, more grenades and better sort of throwing it. I think get the 20% boost on there. And so quick, he's basically a jeweler. So I'm not sure if he's doing sort of soldier on flag. He's more like being light defense because, neither of those perks are going to help you by standing on the flag. What it is going to be able to help you do is duel people that are coming in. So, yeah, I would be surprised if he actually stands on the flag itself.
Okay, I mean, we'll just see how Vice Lord. Now, obviously, Vice Lord in with safety third and potential energy, so that's going to help increase things. He's got a little bit of midfield jewelry going on there with members of Nimbleminds, as he's trying to basically do any kind of damage he can to them before they actually get anywhere near his flag. So essentially, he's obviously part of the harassing team. That looks like there might have got a couple of let's see, these mines. I think there might be either claymores. So they've got claymores on the capping route, which you'd kind of expect. Lovely clearing. Ali comes flying in there, grabs the flag. He is looking really fast as well. Units grabs the flag, tries to do an e-grab, but we're looking at Ali at the moment. He is superb on speed, and he is so fast that chasers did not have any chance to react, and we could be talking about a possible flag capture here for the UE team. Certainly looking good. Barbendis is back at the flag. He's just died. However, there's the flag. Return to base, and there we go. 2-1. So by no means I should say, over with 30 minutes left on the clock, and it's only 2-1 in favour of Nimbleminds.
Yeah, good coordination by the Unhandled exception defense, making sure they timed that return just in time so that the flag cap could be made without any danger of an e-grab. To be honest, there wasn't a massive danger of an e-grab anyway, because Bendis was the only person there that could have made that play. But I guess, better to be safe than sorry.
Yeah, definitely. Now, obviously, everyone's left the generators alone. I don't think we'll see any shrikes or any kind of vehicle spamming going on till maybe 9, possibly 10 minutes into towards the end of the game. That's usually the point where they've got enough money to actually make a purchase of a shrike. Now, obviously, from that point of view, the shrike will actually change the dynamic of the game very quickly.
Yeah, definitely. And it'd be interesting to see what kind of mode they put that strike in, whether it's a defensive mode or an offensive mode where they're trying to clear the flag stand or chase down potential cappers. So I'd be very interested to see. I'm not sure who the strikers are for these teams, so I can't really speculate on that at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, you've obviously seen it in quite a few maps. A good striker can actually turn a map around for a team that is losing and turn it into a winning situation. So it would be good as far as the UE team are concerned if they can actually beat their challengers on their own map. Obviously 2-1 in favour of the challengers at the moment. It's still all to play for as far as I can see.
Yeah, there's plenty of time left. And, it's interesting what you were saying about the Shrike. I mean, that's why they're so expensive. I think they're about 60,000 credits in the Game Shrine rules, and it's particularly for that, that exact reason, because they can be such an influence on the game. I believe with the latest patch, they're a little bit weaker, though, so I think they are a little easier to take down.
Looks like we've got Ali coming in there with a great flag grab. He is away. Holy crap, he is really moving fast. Let's see if we can lock in on him. He is moving at 260 kilometers now. He has got a superb health gen at the moment there. Looks like intercepted midfield by Toomey. He's trying to take him down with a little bit of chain gun fire, but I think he's going to make it back to the loving arms of his defense and tying it up at 2. Oh, wow. Great cap there.
Yeah, equalizing cap, and even more props to Ali for that grab, because it actually wasn't on the flag stand when he picked it up. It was off, so he would have had to adjust his route on the way through to even make that grab. So a really good way to be able to adapt his route to changing circumstances.
Yeah, I suppose that's a sign of a good capper, that your cap route is actually variable enough that you can make a slight change to it and capture or grab a flag when it's actually out in the field. So definitely smart capping there. And for a couple of people who are actually questioning in chat, this is the first map of the game. So this is the first map, and it's turning out to be a pretty damn good game so far.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised we're even seeing this kind of scoreline. I'm used to, we haven't even had a single standoff yet, so I'm used to Rain Dance being a much slower map, but this one's being pretty quick.
Yeah, well, now you've said the dreaded standoff word, it will probably end up happening. Yeah, looks, as you can see, lots of fire going in towards the Nimbleminds now. They're trying to... Oh, there we go. In comes Ali again. Now, I don't know what's going on, but it looks like Unit's trying to do an E-grab there, but UE have suddenly turned it up another gear. They are timing it really, really well and enabling Ali to come in and make some superb flag grabs with really high speed. I think it's fair to say that maybe the initiative is on the side of the UE so far.
Yeah, I mean, the major thing I've noticed that's changed is basically the way that Vice Lord's approaching his heavy offense. Before, he was kind of standing off on the hills and trying to spam from long range. Now he's getting right in there, and he's like basically getting right at the stand and just disrupting that defense a lot more effectively than he was from his long range spam.
Yeah, obviously heavy offense in that respect definitely makes a huge amount of difference if they are so in your face that they are difficult to fight back because of this screen shake. So obviously using all that screen shake to his advantage is proving to be a bit of a problem for the Nimbleminds. Now, obviously they're going to have to change up their strategy slightly and actually put possibly a dedicated man on that heavy offense, do you think?
Potentially. I mean, you were mentioning Hoppy in his sort of midfield role before, and that's exactly what his job is there to do. To try, well, there's a couple of reasons, but the main one is to disrupt the timing of the unhandled exception offense. So they're going to come in and try to clear the flag, and Hoppy's job is to try and disrupt them on the way in so they don't all crash at the same time, and it's much more difficult for them to do that. But it's also his job to get out there and, take out the heavies on their way in. Because the guys that are around the flag stand, your soldier on flag and your sniper, they're just simply not in the position to do that.
Yeah, it's. I just saw a quick grab there by the UE team. It looks like they tried to do a midfield grab, but unfortunately didn't have a huge amount of energy and was not able to get away with the Nimbleminds flag. So flag has been returned to base. As we move in towards the UE team, see what's going on. They obviously Vice Lord looks like got by Bendis and Toomey there. They're really trying to do a number on Vice Lord as well as. Let's just see who that... There's Typhoid there. Typhoid Mary coming in, killing as many people as possible. As looks like it... Yeah, there we go. It got taken down by Horpy. As we move in towards the UE flag and watching Gene Stealer. Now, Gene Stealer's set up as a soldier. He looks to be basically hanging around the midfield area, round by the turret, looking for Kappas coming in on their routes and general annoyance. Obviously, so many different roles in this particular game at the moment. Seems to be quite a popular one. Midfield sort of defender, harasser, I suppose you could say. Harass the harassers.
Yeah, the roaming defender they call it. I mean, this is something that got popularized by Heartbreakers. A bit of a controversial role because it basically allowed them to absolutely smash IDK. Now, I mean, the metagame shifted a little bit since then. People are able to handle it, and basically the way people are able to handle it is by countering it in exactly the same way and throwing out your own midfield. So you've got these two guys dueling in the midfield, and basically the winner of that duel effectively really buffs the offense of that team.
Yeah, it's definitely quite interesting. It's I suppose you can also say they're in danger of getting caught up in their own little mini battle outside of the overall goings on. Now Eunice with a very slow E-grab, but he managed to get away with the flag. Done a disc jump to try and get away. He's very low on energy, taking a few dinks from the sniper shots there. He's down 234. Takes another shot. He's not going to try and make it very, very back. There we go. He gets sniped down by McCavity. Now the flag has been dropped in the field. Oh, he gets missed.
Oh, man.
That was so unlucky. Oh, can Anna get it in time? He can. He's in deep trouble. Looking at Toomey there, he's coming under fire left, right and centre. Can he make it back in time? Toomey taking fire from Gene Stealer as he's trying to make it back towards his flag. Let's see. Looks like the defence are then moving in. Flag toss over there to Eunice, and we could be talking about the original flag grabber making it back and the cap for Nimbleminds.
There you go. The perfect example of a cluster play just showed by Nimbleminds then. We basically see Eunice take the flag off the stand, and he had Ananati and I think Toomey right behind him, and they basically slowly walked that flag up the map. When they got low, they tried to pass it off to one of their teammates. They limped it right down the field, and that was just textbook cluster play. Really well played by Nimbleminds.
Yeah, they did. It was looked a bit scrambly, as if they were trying to basically scramble to get that flag back as quickly as possible. Obviously, seeing the visuals doesn't really show you how calm they were when they were trying to hand it off to each other. But at the end of the day, it's the result that matters, and they got the result that they were after. So we got Anati there. Looks like here comes in the spam. Bibe doing great for spam onto the flag stand there. Looks like the UE team are having to back off from that MIRV. Now, obviously, the advantage of that MIRV is it breaks into multiple explosions as Sue Vicelord has come in and grabbed the flag. So let's see if we can lock in on Sue. There we go. Oh, Sue Vicelord, sorry. Old days, what can I say? It happens when you get old. So let's see. Nimbleminds putting the flag into a nice safe spot, and Bibendus out there doing the heavy offense. So 5 minutes and 24 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, I've got to say that was a mistake by Vicelord. Now what he's done is he's put the flag in a position where they simply can't pick it up. He had no business picking that flag up. There was no one there to support him. They couldn't do a cluster play for themselves, so I'm really not sure what was going through his head just then.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate. Obviously going to put the advantage in favour of Nimbleminds. However, the flag is going to return in about a second. There we go. Flag is now back just in time for the offensive harassers of the UE team to arrive, courtesy of Flaby Death and Mortars and Typhoid Mary going in there and killing everyone with germs and general death.
Yeah, and I mean, now this is the situation where they could start a cluster play. There's two of them there, albeit one of them being heavy. But okay, they've got the Kappa coming on a route, but he gets taken out.
Yeah, very quick attack there on the Diamond Sword flag. Got taken down very quickly. Let's see if we can lock in on Eunice. Now, as you can see, Eunice is looking pretty good. Let's see what kind of chasers he's got. Doesn't have any chasers midfield, except for possibly Ali. Ali is trying to intercept in midfield, but he's going back. There we go. There goes the punt. Flag thrown out towards the defensive team. Can Ali get in and grab the flag? Oh, he's gone for the E-grab. Not sure why he went for the E-grab there, as looks like the Diamond Sword flag has been grabbed by Gene Stealer, trying to prevent the cap. Doesn't get very far, and it looks like they're trying to come in and do E-grabs, but it doesn't appear to be very successful at the moment. And there you have a cap for Nimbleminds. Now, I don't know why the Blood Eagle team guy decided to go for the flag grab rather than actually returning his own flag. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, Ale was on the right vector. He was aimed right at that flag to make the return. And at the last minute, he decided, actually, maybe I should go for the E-grab. But I mean, it was, I don't know, maybe from his vision, it wasn't as clear to him how many Nimbleminds people were around. And he had a pretty good chance, because there were quite a lot of Nimbleminds players there. He had a good chance of making that return, but he had almost no chance of getting away with the E-grab. So, yeah, I reckon he should have continued on his vector and picked up the return.
Oh well, 4-3 in favour of the Diamond Sword team at the moment. So UE, obviously with 3 minutes left on the clock, Nimbleminds have the advantage at the moment. Bear in mind it's only a single cap. Let's see if we can lock in on Ali W. Looks like Ali W is pretty far away now. Looks like he's going to get intercepted by Toomey, who was setting up as Eunice does an E-grab there. Toomey unfortunately wasn't able to stop Ali. Let's see what's going on as he's moving back. Look, two Kappas passing each other. About 500 meters apart, but it looks like Ali's taking cover. And you know what's happened? I think we've got a standoff. You said the word, and it's happened. You see what you've done now?
Yeah, and I mean, this is actually really good news for Unhandled Exception, because basically, as long as they've got that flag, it'll force it into overtime. Now, I mean, 2.5 minutes is actually quite a long time to hold onto a flag, but it is possible, particularly on a map this big where it takes so long to get your offense down the field to try and make that return. Now, what I'm really interested to see here is what strategies these teams go for. Will they go in there with the infiltrator to get the sonic punch return, or will they go for the more traditional, out duel? Now, I think Unhandled Exception probably have the better duelers in the game, so I'd like to see Nimbleminds go for the infiltrator return.
Yeah, what you also see quite common, obviously, is to get an inventory station down as quickly as possible to help out the flag capper and obviously make sure that everybody stays as alive as possible. Now, it looks like you've got Typhoid and Ali coming at them from two directions onto the Nimblemind team. It's just a matter of what they decide to go for. There we go. Looks like AM92 taking a lot of fire as Gene Stealer has dropped the Diamond Sword flag. There's the Blood Eagle flag being thrown around. Oh, loads of fire all over the place. McCavity is holding on to the Diamond Sword flag. He's taking fire from Toomey. He's managed to survive. We'll hand it off to his team. Friends, looks like Gene Stealer there. And
Vicelord did it.
Wow.
Yeah, Vicelord was in there with the infiltrator. He was cloaked. He got the sonic punch return. Bang. Flag's returned. Flag is capped. Equalizer score.
Yeah, that was a clutch play there. Very, very impressive stuff. And as you said, you definitely called it there for the infiltrator. And obviously, it's seems to be quite a proven tactic. I've seen it used quite a few times, and obviously where standoffs are concerned, it brings a whole new dynamic to the game.
Yeah, and with the latest patch, they increased the range of that by 30%, so it's even easier than it was. And yeah, I'm seeing a lot of teams using that Sonic Punch return as their main tactic, because what it means is you can sort of almost distract the other team with your offenders coming in. You only need maybe one less attacker to come in to try and make the return, and the idea is you try to sneak your infiltrator in there, get the Sonic Punch, and because he's right there as a melee, he gets the return instantly.
Yeah, Eunice there just taking a quick flag grab, but he gets taken out by Depth very quickly indeed. And looks like Toomey then pick up the Blood Eagle flag. Now let's see if we can lock in on Toomey. No, we can't. We're going to lock in on Toomey's corpse. He didn't get very far. Typhoid took him out with explosives, and looks like by Bendis there, who is surrounded by half the UE team. His teammate Anati is out there doing that evil infiltrator thing. And by Bendis there finally dying. Looks like Eunice comes in with a flag grab. Oh, he bounces off the side of the flag stand, and unfortunately that killed most of his momentum. He wasn't able to get away.
Yeah, McCavity coming in with a snipe to finish it off, and we are now into 10 minutes overtime, so the next cap will take this game.
Wow. Not bad for the first map, I have to say. This is quality stuff we're seeing between both the Nimbleminds and the Unhandled exceptions. So let's see what goes on. I'm just going to watch the Infiltrator because I always like seeing what the Infiltrator is doing. I like to call it tactical douchebaggery because that's essentially what they are doing. They're just going in there and basically just going after the people, the key players in the team, and saying, "Hi, how you doing?" and then shooting them in the face. But it can prove to be so effective.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, a lot of the time that infiltrator is there just to disrupt the enemy sniper. So that's what you often see that infiltrator going in there to do.
Yeah, it looks like we've got Eunice there. Oh dear, Eunice just cratered into the side of the... it looked like he cratered into the side of the flag stand, but in fact he was killed by an explosion. So good defense, spamming onto the flag here. Let's make a move over towards the Nimbleminds, and holy crap.
We missed that cap completely.
Wow.
I didn't even notice Ali picked that up.
I know. I was just flying over there, and holy crap, those guys are quick. So let's have a look at the scores. Obviously, Typhoid up there, killing many people, 29. You've got Vice Lord, McCafferty, Ali W, Gene Stealer, Ali, and Depths for the Blood Eagle team, and Nimbleminds with Am92, Horpy, Rageful, Chumi, and Anati by Bendis and Eunice. So a very good first map.
Yeah, I was really impressed. I honestly didn't think, especially after the first two caps, that Unhandled Exception would get away with that. But they managed to, sort of tweak their offense just enough to get Ali W to get out of there with more caps. What I would have liked to see from Nimbleminds is some more repeats of that really excellent cluster play they did. That was just so effective. And yeah, I'm surprised they didn't try that again.
Yeah, definitely. Darmok making a very good plan on point in voice comms. This is why we need the minimap. So obviously we'll refer that back to other conversations going elsewhere. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's just sometimes it's hard to see everything that's going on.
Yeah, and I mean, often as spectators, we depend on the sound, that sort of flag grab sound. And when a lot's going on with explosions, sometimes you can miss that. So yeah, apologies for that flag getting a bit lost in the action.
Yeah, we need taller flags. I think if we had like a 60-70 foot flag, with a flashing light on top of it, then maybe that will make things significantly easier.
Like the Happy Flag hack in Tribes 1.
God, yes, absolutely. So, yeah, I remember that. So this is Arch Novena. This is going to be the second map. Now, obviously, UE, I think it's fair to say, have the advantage there for this, as they were the victors in the previous map, which was the Challengers map. So they definitely have the advantage, and they are now playing on their decided map. So I think it's fair to say the strategic initiative is held by Unhandled Exception. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I got a message from Steppo from Nimbleminds saying that the reason they chose Rain Dance was simply because they wanted to mix things up. They were getting a little bit bored. Now, I mean, you take something like Arx Novena. This is sort of one of the premier competition maps in the rotation, along with probably, I don't know, maybe Drydock and Catabatic. So, both these teams should be very well versed in this map. And it's interesting. I expect that the snipers will play a much more important role in this map than they did back on Rain Dance.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen it on many of the games, the ESL and the FPS general finals that we covered. You saw a lot of usage of the sniper taking out the cappers as they were doing their side-to-side routes, and a lot of spam coming in here from there we go. You got Bybenders coming in, trying to do a bit of flag spam, and looks like Eunice is in already, but didn't get very far. Looks like a nice suicide punt there of the flag underneath a viaduct. So it's all underway very quickly, and it looks like Chemical Fox has come in to cover for one of his teammates.
Yeah, I mean, this is again that cluster play being shown by Nimbleminds. Yunus knew he didn't have enough speed to get that flag away, so he just punted it down. And Shumi and Ananati just went and chased it. They picked up the flag, and it looks like we're setting up for the first standoff of the game already.
Yeah, we love the standoffs. But however, Horpy is looking after the dinosaur flag. Oh, there we go. That was flag being dropped in the field, but it looks like we could be talking about a cap here for the Nimbleminds, and yeah, that was a really pass the parcel type situation there. They struggled towards the end as they got towards their flag stand, as a couple of snipes took down a couple of their players, including the flag holder, but a determined attempt there by the Diamond Sword team eventually got the cap for them.
Yep, I mean, talking about the snipers, we can see exactly what I was talking about last map with Ananati running that infiltrator, and it's basically his job to disrupt McCavity. That's the only thing he's doing this game.
Yeah, now obviously that's going to be a key part. It's certainly obviously not enjoyable from the sniper's point of view, with Chemical Fox coming in with a front to back, or back to front grab I should say. He's already by the viaduct very quickly, so this could be a good cap attempt here by Bendis, going in for a bit of heavy offense as flag gets returned. Bybendis tries to stop him. Oh, he bounces off Bybendis' head, and the flag eventually gets capped there by Gene Stealer for the Blood Eagle team. So Bybendis going in there trying to do a little bit of heavy offense directly on the flag, managed to prevent the cap, but didn't survive long enough to prevent the actual cap in the end.
Yeah, if only they had one more offender in there to pick up that flag and, e-grab it away a little bit, but Bendis was never going to get away with it in that heavy outfit, so he was just trying to disrupt them as much as possible, hoping that one of his teammates could get in there and help him out.
Yeah, it's certainly quite interesting. I mean, you see there, obviously Ali's in there on the dinosaur flag. Now, obviously, he's not focused. Oh, with a lovely time flag grab there by Chemical Fox, doing a left to right route with high speed, and gets sniped down by Rageful from the Nimbleminds. So great snipe there. Looks like the flag gets picked up in the field. Vicelord takes a disc almost immediately by Bendis, and another side does a suicide punch, try and get it to his flag, to his minders, as the Blood Eagle flag then gets picked up from in front of the Blood Eagle base by Bendis now with a heavy, and he's trying to run with the flag to prevent the flag cap. He's going to take a shot. Gene Stealer's going to return the flag, and we could be talking about a cap for the Blood Eagle team. In come Depths to cap the flag. So he's sorry, correction, I think we've already had the flag cap. I must have missed that.
Yeah, no, both flags got returned in the end. Typhoid couldn't hang on to it, and he got taken out. The flag was returned, and then Gene Stealer did exactly the same thing. So yeah, just a bit of a reset.
Yeah, we're just watching, let's just see how things are going with respect to Eunice now. Obviously, Eunice setting up. Let's see if we can do a little bit of watching of his cat route at the moment. Now, obviously, he's setting up. There we go. The regen kicks in just at the right moment as he's relatively close towards the base. A couple of sniper shots coming in towards him. Seems to have reasonably good speed. It looks like we may not be seeing a Nitron going out, and he could be coming in for a potential flag grab. There we go. Obviously, didn't get very far.
No, meanwhile, Ale has come through and picked up the flag for Unhandled Exception. He gets taken out just under the aqueduct. Chemical Fox might make the pickup, and this could be a cap for Unhandled Exception.
Yeah, definitely looking that way. Half health for Chemical Fox. He's back towards the flag stand, and he gets in there and caps the flag for Unhandled Exception. So Nimbleminds on the back foot on this second map at the moment. It's now, I don't know if you've seen the rather naughty placement of resources that the Blood Eagle team have done. There are some rather nicely placed inventory stations around the map that these guys can use to basically tool up again and get additional health before they make any kind of serious attack on the Nimbleminds base.
Yeah, I'm watching the Nimbleminds defense, and to be honest, I'm a little bit confused as to what they're trying to do. Hoppy's been, I guess he's trying to do that roaming defender thing, but he's just kind of all over the map. He's at the front and he's at the back, and I think he needs to sort of pick a position and stick to it, because at the moment he's just always caught out being at the wrong place at the wrong time. So yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with the Nimbleminds defense at the moment.
Yeah, difficult thing to deal with. Obviously, you've got Vicelor coming in there doing damage all over the place. You've got Toomey, he looks like to be trying to do a little bit of defense. There's loads of fire going in on the flag stand. Toomey taking a huge amount of damage as Anati there picking up the flag. Let's see what's going on. Let's see if we can lock in on the Blood Eagle flag. So there we go. Anati looks like he's punting the flag forward. Units thrusting into position. Oh, gets this out of the way. Could be. Oh, how did he manage to miss the flag there? Typhoid missing the flag to return it, but fortunately his teammate was on hand to kill the enemy. And Chemical Fox for UE captures the flag. So 3-1 in favour of Unhandled Exception. Certainly a turn up for the books.
Yeah, I mean, that was an attempt there by Nimbleminds to sort of cluster that one down, but Bendis picked it up, threw it across, and Anati took it over the hill, then tried to pass it off to, I think it was Eunice. Unfortunately, the throw wasn't very good. It was very lucky that Typhoid didn't make the return almost immediately, but unfortunately, then Eunice got taken out, and the return was made, and Chemical Fox had the other flag and made the cap.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting from what these guys are setting up. You've obviously got, now it looks like they might be running either a dual harasser, dual cappers, so it's interesting to see that the UE team are certainly varying things up with respect to their offensive plan. So their capper just came flying in there, I think got killed very quickly. Anati and Chemical Fox both I think they might have fluffed up their cap routes, so they may have committed suicide.
Yeah, again, there's a slight difference in the defense between Nimbleminds and Unhandled Exception. Nimbleminds going for the heavy on flag, the Doombringer, AM92 running that on the Nimbleminds flag, whereas I think it's probably going to be Genestealer over on Unhandled Exception running a soldier with... No, he's running soldier with Reach and Quick Draw. So again, more of a dueling outfit than a, sort of flag blocking outfit.
Yeah, AM92 obviously running the fatness on flag at the moment with the super heavy perk. That's going to help him out dealing with any cappers. He's just got to stand there and basically get smacked in the face by a high-speed capper, as he perfectly demonstrates on Chemical Fox, who gets a face full of heavy, and looks like a bit of a suicide punt there. Now the thing is, can Horpy get the flag back as it makes its way down towards a viaduct? You've got three people. Oh, Chemical Fox with a high-speed midfield grab. Oh, he's had to turn around in the opposite direction because he's lost a lot of energy, and he going to get sniped down midfield. So the question is, can the Blood Eagle or the Diamond Sword team return it? Which they can. Great play there by the Diamond Sword team, as I thought they were going to lose their flag. It's certainly a turn up for the books as far as I'm concerned.
All the points to Rageful in that one. He took out Ale and Chemical Fox to prevent them, bring that flag even across halfway point. So again, the snipers in this map showing their worth.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you've obviously got Deps up there doing his snipering thing. Lots of lovely Merv spam coming in from by Bendis. Now, obviously, he's dropping it directly on the flag and doing a great job as he's spamming midfield. And seems to have got the rage of the flag stand. Is trying to do as much damage as possible, setting it up for the Nimbleminds cappers. As Chemical Fox tries to grab the Diamond Sword flag, doesn't get very far. And looks like you've got Ananati coming in, doing a bit of midfield harassment. He got killed by Genestealer. As we're looking at a potential flag grab by Eunice, bounces off the side of the building, and he is away. Oh my god, there's chain gun fire in every direction. UE are going after him with a vengeance. Holy crap, that was an awful lot of chain gun fire there.
Yeah, he just basically landed right in the middle of about 6 Unhandled Exception players all around him like a clock, and they were just firing from every angle. He had nowhere to go. There was just no chance of him getting away with that.
Yeah, he is now officially a Swiss cheese. So many holes, it's unreal.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, 3-1 in favour of the UE at the moment, and 15 minutes and 55 seconds left on the clock. Definitely not over, in my experience. I don't think the Nimbleminds are going to give up. Would love to see this go to a third map. At the moment, I think it's fair to say the UE team have the advantage over Nimbleminds at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Nunes has been running some good routes. He just hasn't been able to get away with it because the clearing hasn't been so great. Bendis is doing a good job with the Merv spam, but the problem is that the Unhandled Exception guys know what to do. I mean, this is probably why Genestealer isn't running super heavy. He's running, the quick draw and safety third, and he's got the mobility that he can just dodge that Merv spam all day. So I'd like to see Bendis sort of get more in their face, as he's starting to do now.
Yeah, I mean, that's certainly proved to be the case on previous map, as this is once they had them getting in and the heavies basically getting up close and personal, giving them a big fat hug. It certainly changed the dynamic of the defensive team. They had to get a lot more, not defensive, but kind of, they had to dance around like Michael Flatley on speed. They had to make sure that they did not get hit by that massive flag spam.
Yeah, absolutely. Ale has picked up the flag for Unhandled Exception. This could make it 4-1. There's just no one on him at all. Yeah. Oh, he just missed. There he goes.
Yeah, that was. I think it's fair to say Unhandled Exception looking very strong in this particular map. Obviously, this is their map choice, so they're going to have a strategy that they feel the most comfortable with. And we got Vice Lord setting up. Now let's see how the defensive team. So you've got McCavity in there. He's in with the sniper rifle. He's got Rage and Ultra Capacitor. That will obviously help his sniping. You've got Bybenders coming in doing a little bit of flag spam. And let's see if we can follow. Oh, there. That was very unfortunate. Eunice taking a bad landing there. He then dies. Flag is still back at base. And let's just see if we can lock in to see what's going on. McCavity there with a little bit of a sniper shot as we're going to lock in on Ananati as he is making his way back towards the base. There we go. McCavity with a drill to the forehead, and the flag is dropped in the field. Units manages to pick it up and making his way back towards his base. This jumps back towards his base. Looks like he's going to try and punt it to his teammate. Doesn't look as a bit of a bad bounce. Can Am get in place? Oh no! Am then dies as he tries to get the flag, and it looks like the Dinosaur flag is Blood Eagle flag taking me under loads of fire. Units then eventually picks up the flag. Can he get it in time? Oh, Blood Eagle flag gets returned to base on the Diamond Sword flag stand. Desperately unlucky.
Ale, what a champion. He came through and basically took out, I can't remember who was holding the flag for Nimbleminds, so took out that flag carrier, grabbed the E-grab, and returned the flag all in one swift move. That was really cool. Really good timing by Ale to come in and just make that play.
Yeah, definitely. That's what you call getting your money's worth. So we're looking at Depths. Obviously, he is one of the defensive team, and he's in as a soldier. Now, obviously, he's got the quick draw and the safety third perk, and you've got Gene Stealer, who's also in. Let's just check to see what he's doing. He's set up as a soldier as well, in with Reach and quick draw. So he's got the possibility, because he's got the Reach perk, of doing an emergency E-grab or a quick grab if he needs to as a soldier.
Yeah, absolutely. And just sort of, there's no one around Nimbleminds. This is a perfect time for UE to come in again, but unfortunately, there's just no one in position at the moment.
Yeah, it's so much of this game, especially with tribes, dependent on timing. You've got to get these guys out of the way, out of the flag position, distracted, doing pretty much what those distracting O's are supposed to do. As soon as they're off balance, as soon as they're not paying attention to what's going on, that's the time when you do it. And these kind of things take practice, takes an awful lot of practice.
Yeah, absolutely. What I'm finding interesting is the flexibility of the Unhandled Exception team to just sort of take on different roles. We can see Ale has switched out to a Juggernaut now. He's doing Merv spam on the flag as Chemical Fox is setting up a route. And yeah, meanwhile, like if you watch Nimbleminds, they've pretty much been in the same outfit the whole time. They haven't adapted at all. And that could be one of the reasons why they haven't sort of managed to change the momentum in this game yet.
Yeah, definitely appears to be the case. Now, obviously, Toomey's going to try and pick up the flag. Now, the question is he going to be able to make it back towards his base? Looks like he tried to do a punt there. Very unfortunate. Looks like it's Ananati there picking up, getting caught a little bit up with Toomey. McCavity is going to try and intercept in midfield as Anati is trying to make a run back towards his base, taking far from McCavity. McCavity takes a shot to the face. He goes down as looks like it's going to be another flag handoff. Now, you can see there's a dirty little Vice Lord in there doing... Oh, he's gone for the melee kill, but he didn't manage to get it. Very unlucky. He gets sniped down. Very unlucky for Vice Lord there. He was going for a very nasty attempt to melee the Kappa. That would have been extremely funny had it occurred, but unfortunately for him, it did not appear to be successful. Now, obviously, Diamond Sword flag is back. Is now being held onto by the Blood Eagle team. So there we go. We have a flag standoff.
Yeah, and again, look at the different sort of postures these teams are using for their flag standoff. We've got Nimbleminds. Oh, here comes Ale. Is he going to get the Sonic Punch? Oh, no, I think he's run out of time. So Nimbleminds basically holding that flag on top of their base, whereas Unhandled Exception are sort of holding it up on the sort of more traditional place around the vehicle pad. So just slight differences in the way these teams are approaching the flag standoff situation.
And the Blood Eagle flag just got returned to base. Diamond Sword managed to lose it, and we could be talking about another cap there. So there you go, 5-1 in favour. Now, if I'm right in thinking, the rules for this are for 7 cap outs on this particular map.
Indeed. Well, on all maps. So Game Shrine rules is first to 7 caps.
Well, that's good stuff then. So there's still plenty to go on. However, to get 4 caps on the board in 10 minutes, I think Nimbleminds will have to step their game up significantly in order to compete against UE as it stands at the moment.
Yeah, they need to change it up. They need to sort of get their timing on the clearance a bit better, and they need to run some of those fast back to front caps, and they need to get the chain caps going. It's easy to get 4 caps in 10 minutes. There's plenty of time, but they need to be doing the right strategy for it. So clustering is not the right strategy to get 4 caps in 10 minutes. You need those quick back to front so that you can just chain it through and you really put the pressure on the opposing team.
Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll keep an eye on Units as he tries to make his way across towards the flag. He then dies on impact, courtesy of a couple of nades and other explosive devices. So Deps there taking down by Bendis as he tries to do some heavy offense on the flag. So I think it's fair to say that the out of the 2 defensive teams, the UE team has been more effective in taking down the enemy offensive harassers, especially the likes of Bendis, who are trying to clear for their kappa.
Yeah, definitely. Unhandled Exception are doing a great job. The thing is, nothing's throwing them off their game because Nimbleminds aren't trying to switch it up at all. It's always Babendis spamming from long distance, and he'll come in, and then you get Chumi and Ananati. And unfortunately, what they're doing is they're telegraphing exactly what's going on, because as soon as Babendis starts coming forward, they know, Eunice is pretty close now. So if they haven't already spotted him, just the fact that Babendis is coming forward already tells them that Eunice is probably within about 15 seconds of a grab.
Yeah, it's all about the timing. Now, the thing is, one thing that's quite interesting is that I'm wondering if the Nimbleminds are going to change things up, because I can see that somebody's actually deployed a force field. So the question is, are they going to try and change the dynamic of the game by getting a generator back up and running? That will give them the advantage of force fields as well as the use of the base turrets, and possibly even have enough money for a strike. As Ali comes in to grab the flag, looks like he's trying to get away from chain gun fire by Bendis. Looks like he's going to try and take him out midfield. There we go. Flag gets dropped in the field, being looked after by the Diamond Sword, going for a midfield grab. Chemical Fox with a midfield grab. He doesn't get very far because he had to change his direction, and Diamond Sword flag has been dropped in the field and finally returned.
Yeah, really brave stuff from Chemical Fox, just jumping on that flag. Chumi a little bit slow on the return, but they were able to cancel it out, and they did get the return in the end. In terms of bringing up the generators and using force fields, that's the last thing the Minds want to be doing at the moment. They really need to push their offense, and their defense has been okay. It's their offense that's really struggling at the moment.
Yeah, definitely having major problems against the UE team. Now, obviously, looking at it from the point of view of the Diamond Sword team, I think it's... there we go. There's a quick grab there by Ali. Let's see if we can lock in on him. No, we can't. He gets sniped down by Rageful. Flag has been dropped in the field. Looks like, there was Typhoid going for a quick grab in the field. Wasn't successful. Toomey returns a flag for the Diamond Sword team. And we're going to have a look to see how... there we go. Units comes in with a near full health grab, but he is not full health anymore. Bounces back towards his flag. He is really good on the speed. Could be talking about a flag cap. There we go. Units bringing it to 5-2 in favour of in favour of UE. Now the thing is, what you were talking about is that it happened exactly. Very fast back to front route.
Yeah, that's what they need to be doing. I want to see more of them. If they can just set up a couple of those, they'll make UE start to panic a little bit. If they can set up some more back to fronts, you saw it. It was an 8-second cap, and and that's going to work for them at the moment, because UE they're all stacking around the base, and they're sort of not in the position to chase it down, which is going to be very difficult from the back to fronts, but very good against the sort of clustering style which they were trying before.
Now, I don't know if you've noticed, with respect to the actual offensive harassers, you were talking about how the UE team are actually changing up their roles. I don't know if you noticed, a Vice Lord now in as an infiltrator, so he's definitely changing up his strategy with respect to what he is doing to that defensive team, as it looks like Ali's coming in to do a flag grab. He's going to then go splat on the front of the heavy, so Ali then basically covered in Blood Eagle bits and entrails, and he's then taking a shot as Typhoid comes in with a very slow E-grab, basically kills the heavy on flag, tries to get away but doesn't get very far. Diamond Sword flag dropped in the field.
Yeah, I guess they didn't have anybody on a route, so Typhoid's like, well, I'll give it a shot, see if I can get it down the field, maybe punt it forward, because, it's going to be at least 30 seconds before we reset for another grab. Good play. I don't mind that.
Yeah, look at what we're going to do is going to have a look to see what the Blood Eagle team are doing now. Obviously, Chemical Fox has just tried to grab the flag. He didn't get very far. Flag gets dropped in the field, not far from the Diamond Sword base. Now, obviously, looking at mechanic, there's the spam coming in. And looks like you've got McCavity and Depths also there, basically doing a great job of staying out of the way of that flag spam. So exactly what you were saying earlier with Babendis basically spamming from the middle point, as Anati comes in with a nice flag grab, good speed. Looks like he's got Depth there and Gene Stealer after him. Looks like an E-grab was made by the Diamond Sword team. That's Typhoid coming in with an E-grab. Vice Lord is going to be back at base, so they need to watch themselves out. Let's see what's going on. Oh, there we go. He blocked him, and then he got sniped down there. Can Vice Lord get the flag return? He can! On the Diamond Sword flag stand. Great play there by the combination of the sniper and the infiltrator. Just goes to show that tactical douchebaggery is the way forward.
Yeah, I mean, and again, I said this right at the start of the map. The importance of snipers on this map is just exactly what we just saw then. I mean, McCavity was right across the other side of the map, but because of the visibility on Arx Novena, he was able to take out the flag capper from base to base with a sniper rifle.
Yeah, Chemical Fox doing a punt forward towards his team, Gene Stealer and McCavity there. By Bendis and Harpy, they're really going for these guys. Mortars all over the place. It looks like Gene Stealer's going to make it away, as he's got pretty good health as far as we can see. He's got a Vice Lord looking after him, as an E-grab was attempted by Anati. Flag gets thrown out into the field. Toomey, however, happens to be standing by to pick it up. Does a suicide punt down towards Am. Let's see if Am can get into a position where he can get it back. He can, underneath the viaduct. Oh my goodness, there are so many Blood Eagle all over Am. He's not going to survive very long. Oh, great midfield grab there by units. This is exactly the kind of pass-to-parcel tactics that you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, I mean, quite lucky, actually. I mean, this basically came from a midfield sort of pickup where AM92 picked it up from a sort of a failed real cap attempt. And yeah, they've basically been able to then use their Oh, look at that. Again, McCavity from across the other side with a snipe. Unfortunately, AL wasn't there to get the return. And yeah, we're into another standoff.
Yeah, that was a stunning shot by McCavity. Now, obviously, you've got the evil cloaker, who is around and about doing things. He's obviously looking for that opportunity when the defensive team are not paying attention. Now, one thing I have noticed is that the Nimbleminds team are kind of following a similar strategy to what UE did on the previous standoff. They've actually got teams out on the hill as opposed to on the base, and obviously you've got Chemical Fox, who appears no longer to be capping. He's come in for basically heavy offense spam to try and take out the flag cap, and now these guys are basically running around all over the place trying not to take any fire. And there we go, you've got Ali coming in. They're going over to Harpy at the moment. He's taking a lot of fire. I think it's not looking good for Nimbleminds. They are surrounded by Blood Eagle team members.
Yeah, and they're also running out of time. I'm just watching Vice Lord. I'm waiting for him to get that next Sonic Punch. But it looks like Typhoid might make the return. No, he gets taken out.
Oh, that was desperately unlucky for the Diamond Sword team there, as flag gets returned to the field, and Diamond Sword flag there finally got returned. So it looks like the flag stand, the flag, oh god, brain fart, the standoff has been ended, and it looks like Chemical Fox has come in, grabbed the flag. Looks like he's doing a very nice roundabout route. Let's see if we can see anybody chasing after him. You've got Rageful, who's chasing after him at the moment. Sniper shots all over the place. Let's see. Now, one thing you do notice is once the flag cap has gone, you see a lot of that defensive team actually move forward to try and intercept them. So this is very similar to the old cluster routine that used to happen with Tribes 1, where you used to get back to your own flag stand, and it was actually covered with more enemy than your team. However, it's looking good for Ali, as is by Bendis there. Loads of fire all over it, and it looks like another cap there for the UE team. So 6-2 with 1 minute and 27 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, I mean, Unhandled exception with a pretty firm grip on this game. I mean, it's not out of the question for Nimbleminds to turn around and force this one into overtime. Again, if they start to chain, I mean, Nunes is coming in right now, and they're not going to return the flag, so he's not going to be able to pick that up. Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty tough spot for Nimbleminds at this position.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, desperately unlucky for Eunice there coming in to try and grab the flag, taken down by McCavity's gun, and just unfortunate when it came to timing, but that's exactly the kind of strategy that has been used from day one in Tribes. It's pretty much important that you return the flag only at the last possible second, so that you basically don't take the chance of an E-grab.
Yeah, and both teams have been doing a very good job of that. Neither team has been sort of a bit premature in returning their flag, so it's props to both teams to know that.
Yeah, now I notice in looks by Bender getting in close and personal, taking fire from Gene Stiller. He's then down as he's been trying to clear the flag as Deps is still up there doing his defensive job, and looks like Toomey in the midfield again. So obviously 16 seconds, 15 seconds, I think it's fair to say that UE have successfully defended the number 2 position on the 7v7 ladder.
Yeah, McCavity with the bad manners as always. Too easy, he says. Throwing a bit of trash talk at Nimbleminds. Well, maybe slightly justified. That was a pretty one-sided match, that second one.
Yeah, very unfortunate for the Nimbleminds, but obviously the UE were a lot more comfortable with how things were going on, as that was their choice of maps. So it's definitely turned out. I don't think the second game was as good as the first one. The first one very close indeed. Second one very unfortunate for the Diamond Sword team, but UE with great play there, defending their number 2 position. What do you think overall?
Yeah, I mean, UE really showed kind of their skill in the second map in terms of their timing and their cohesion as a team. I think what made Rain Dance a little bit interesting was neither team had what I would call a really solid strategy of what they were doing. They had ideas, but their execution wasn't, say, as perfect as what I would call what Unhandled Exception were doing on Arx Novena there. So, I think it just sort of came down to Unhandled Exception really knowing that map quite well. And essentially just outplaying Nimbleminds. Unfortunately, I would have liked to see more adaptation come from Nimbleminds. They should have realized about halfway through that kind of strategy and that loadout, that team, what's the word for it, composition that they were using wasn't being as effective as it needed to be. And unfortunately, yeah, they just didn't try to do anything else. And I think that's where they fell down.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose that's a sign of a good team, is the kind of team that can actually adapt their offensive and defensive strategies according to the requirements of the actual match in hand at the time. Obviously, that's a sign of a good team. Sticking to a strategy that doesn't work is not really the way to go forward. But at the end of the day, it's one of those things. This is all part of the learning process that teams learn as they go, and it's good to see a good game. It's always good fun to see a good game, and always enjoyable to watch tribe players duke it out.
Yeah, and I mean, what we're talking about with, being able to, adapt to strategies, that's not as difficult as it sounds. Basically, the idea is you want to have, a handful of strategies for each map in your back pocket. And if one of them's working, just go to the next one. I mean, the absolute top teams can analyze what an opposing team's doing and then select out of their strategies the one that's going to be most effective against that. But, even if you don't have that level of coordination, if you've just got a couple of basic ideas of the way that you're going to approach each map, then just cycle through them and try to figure out which one's going to work, and over time you'll start to identify what strategies work against the opposition in their particular strategy as well.
Yeah, definitely. So I think it's fair to say GG's to UE, well, GG's to both teams actually. Very enjoyable match, and that was the number 2 position on the 7v7 ladder. So thank you very much to Dot Matrix. Wonderful job, sir.
Thank you very much for having me. It's really good fun. Hope we can do it again.
Definitely, without a doubt, I think it's fair to say. So this is Chadman signing off for the evening. Thanks for watching, guys. It's been a lot of fun. We'll see you again for more Tribes goodness.